welcome to yet another Microshock.com video review. This is our belated Christmas episode. I know it's a little late, but as you can see, and as my cat can see, it's still Christmas in Canada, judging by the weather. And I tend to live in the land where people leave their Christmas decorations up until the end of March. This episode, we've got a new feature on the site. It's a segment we want to call Original vs. Remake. Keeping in the, well, past holiday season, we're reviewing Black Christmas and its remake, Black Xmas. How we're going to do is we're going to compare certain aspects of both movies. If it's something we like, you're going to see this symbol. If it's something we don't, you're going to see this one. So where do we start? Let's start with the characters that are in both movies. In the original Black Christmas, our intended victims, you know, they're all diverse. I mean, you can tell one from the other. I mean, there's the drums, there's the girl from SCTV, pregnant chick with the British accent. The remake, on the other hand, I can't tell them apart. There's brunette, 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 blonde. I mean, okay, the blonde one we know is going to live in the end, hence the different hair color. Thank you, Hollywood. We would have never figured it out. Bonus points for Black Christmas for hiring both John Saxon, which is always a staple for a B movie, and the lady they hired to play the den mother in the original.
I didn't send my daughter here to be drinking and picking up boys. Tough shit. You're supposed to be responsible for the morals of every girl in this goddamn house.
You know, she's a pleasant woman on the outside, but she's a closet drunk and a bit of a bitch when people have their back turned, and that's awesome. The remake, I mean, they gave us the woman from SCTV playing the den mother, which is, alright, hey, look, it's somebody from the original movie, the only one they could probably afford. And, you know, I mean, she gets impaled with an icicle. It's not the killer. The original film, I'm going to give them points for the fact that you don't see who the killer is. What he says is actually quite disturbing. And at the very end, he gets away with it. Nobody catches him. You know, it doesn't have that sugar-coating, unhappy ending. The remake, however, I'll give it points for the fact that they actually developed the character of the villain, you know, going into his past and explaining who he is. But yellow skin, were we inspired at all by Sin City? In the fact that, you know, the whole calling from inside the house thing doesn't really work in the days of, you know, cell phones and call display. What he says isn't really disturbing if you can understand what he says half the time, and he gets killed at the end. So, you know, it doesn't end on a down note, and, you know, I think that takes away from the original film. The suspense building. Original Black Christmas film was made in the 70s, and so it's living in an era, you know, where they were using rotary phones, and, you know, you had to call the operator and ask them to connect you just to make a long distance call. So, you know, the idea of them, you know, trying to figure out where the call's coming from and all that, you know, suspense building to find out that it's actually coming from inside the house actually makes it somewhat scary. The calls are coming from the house. The remake, of course, that doesn't work so well. We're living in an era of digital communication. We've got call displays on cell phones. And, you know, that little bit of the movie just kind of falls off the map. And, you know, that was the real big suspense builder. Without that, you know, wondering where the hell the killer is, of course, if you walked in having seen the original, it's not really that much of a big surprise. But, I mean, there could have been other ways for them to build the suspense other than the usual humdrum horror movie slasher killer suspense builder. And the cell phone thing, oh, it's coming from so-and-so's phone, it doesn't have the same effect. The big shocker social stigma thing that for each film. The original, the lead female role gets pregnant, wants to have an abortion. Shocking. Even by today's standards, a lot of people would frown upon that.
That's fantastic. I don't want it. No. I want to have an abortion.
Black Xmas, the remake, however, no, we're not going to go for the abortion plot line because I guess it's a little too racy for our 21st century viewers. So what they go for? Internet sex video. Oh my God! I mean, is that the worst that can happen to somebody? Final point: the killing. The original film, they use a lot of leave it to your imagination. Quick camera shots. It's a low-budget movie. Special effects weren't that great. We're talking about 1974 here, so I mean, I can give allowances for that. But Black Xmas delivers a little more gore. Lots more people get bags over their heads and their throats cut, and it's a bloodier movie. Does that add to it? I don't know, but it looks good. All in all, at the end of the day, both versions of the movie, the 1974 original or the 2006 remake, they both have their good points. They both have their bad points. There's parts of the film that works well. There's parts of the films that don't. Although, if I'm going to pick one or the other, I'm going to have to go for the original. I find it more suspenseful. But if you have a short attention span, the remake's better for you because it goes by a little faster, and it doesn't work on suspense at all. So, anyways, that's my opinion. I choose Black Christmas over Black Xmas. Get them both yourself. Take a look at them. Make your own decision. And that concludes this video. We have 2 more for this update. Keep an eye out for our review of Die You Zombie Bastards and our look back at the first episode of Degrassi Junior High.
We've got all kinds of problems with the state of the world, but there's just one solution that will get you the goal. Whoa! Blow your brains out on my TV. Whoa! 4 more years, yeah, right. Get a song written about you. Might have got like the turn. Ain't no being unstable. FDFT, whoa! Blow your brains out on my TV. Whoa! Blow your brains out, do it! Who cares? Not me! Who cares? Not me!